Welcome, Pat. Good to have you.
Hello, guys.
So, Pat, I want to just begin by helping folks to kind of know you a little bit more, where you're from and so on. So where were you born?
I was born in Spanish Town General
Oh,
Hospital, Spanish
really?
Town, Jamaica.
Oh,
Yeah.
right next door.
Yes.
Good. Okay, great. And where do you live now?
I live in Las Vegas,
Las
Nevada.
Vegas. Oh,
Yeah.
Las Vegas. The what they call Las Vegas again? I forget. What's the
I
term?
just live there. I don't know anything about Las Vegas.
The City of Lights.
The City of Lights. That's right. Thank you, Christine.
Ah,
And it sounds like you're kind of city, Pat, from what I've seen of you. Excitement, lights, and so on. So
That's
maybe the city chose you, or you chose the city. I don't know. But
I
anyway,
think it shows me.
yeah. So are you married, Pat?
I was, and I got divorced in the 80s.
Oh, 80s,
Long time ago.
a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yes.
All right. All right. So we are doing so you're not currently married.
No.
Okay. And so you got divorced in the 80s and you never remarried.
No.
Okay. Well, I really want to ask you one or two questions about that, but I'm going to hold them back first. So we're
Okay.
doing an interview with you about relationships, about dating and marriage. And
Yeah.
i- i- can you give me your age range? I don't know if you want to give me your exact age or the range.
Well, I turned 71 last
Oh,
month, November.
oh,
Yes,
wow. You're doing
71.
well. You're doing well.
Thank you.
71. Wow. So, Pat, we're doing an interview with you now about relationships, about dating, marriage, and so on. So, can you identify anything about you, about your experience or training or something else that should make us anticipate some good advice about this topic from you?
Okay. When I got married, I was very young. He was young, so we didn't have any experience. We didn't know what we were doing. We had two children. One is a OBGYN and the other one is a electrical engineer. So, but then things didn't work out. He if it said I was married later, I would be still married because I would know what to do. Because I was telling Don and Erica that, when you're married, you must still continue dating like you're not married. You date, you go out, you have a date night, you have fun. Um, I don't know if I can talk about sex. Can I? Oh, okay. You if you're in the kitchen doing something, you should just come in and help. Both of you do things together because when you get married, you become one. In the mornings, like when your wife normally, your wife getting ready for work, you look at her and you say, "Baby, you look so gorgeous," and tell each other every day that you love each other. Communicate with one another. If say you're upset with each other, don't ever go to bed on an unfriendly note. Try to solve the problems that you have before you go to bed. And if we put God in the middle of everything we do, and whatever we are doing, what we're saying, if we put God in the middle of it, everything will work out.
Okay, Wayne, you got a question for Pat there, I think.
Oh, I do, Pat, and although I nearly feel like calling it an evening. It was such a nice summary, right?
Oh,
And Pat, you also answered the first part of my question. So, how do you see marriage and relationships nowadays compared to when you were young? Is it getting better or getting worse or about the same?
I don't think it's I wouldn't say it's getting better because left, right, and center, there are a lot of divorces going on, especially in the churches. I don't know if it's, I was very young when I was married, so it, it might be a little better, just a little better.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, Pat, you were experienced, perhaps not so experienced in a marriage since you were divorced so long ago, but naturally you are experienced in meeting people, interacting with people, and so on.
Yeah,
So I'd like to ask you this: you you said you're 71. You're not so young anymore, but
I'm
there
still
are,
young.
yeah, just not so young.
Okay, okay.
Of course, you're still young. Yeah, but so what are the prospects for young ladies nowadays to find good husbands from your view of things, from your assessment, going around meeting people and so on? How possible is it for young people to find good husbands, young ladies to find good husbands?
Okay. I think, you know, if they get to know, you have to get to know the person, find a family member of the person or a friend, and ask them questions about them. And you yourself have to try, like when you go out on a date, or when you're together, you have to try to, you ask them certain questions and try to get to know them better. Ask them if they are a church goer. You can ask them personal stuff, like, you know um if they like to go out and maybe go to the club, and you're not a club person, then you're going to start realize that, no, this person is not, maybe not for me, because I don't go to the club. Or you can, the best thing to do is ask God to guide you, and to ask him to, talk to him and ask him to help you. That's the best person, I think, is who is gonna guide you to a husband, is God, because he has a way of telling you or showing you that person is not for you. But sometimes we do not listen to his voice. We don't sit quietly and listen to hear his voice, to see when he's telling us, don't do that, don't do that, or do this and do this. And that's why sometimes we end up in divorce and, getting hurt.
All right,
So
so you think there are good men around that my daughter
I,
can find a nice husband, and young ladies can find nice husbands around now?
I think so. I think they are. I think so.
Okay, great, thanks.
Very, very good, Pat. Thank you so much for that. Uh,
You're welcome.
can you think of any precautions that young ladies and young men should take when looking for partners, or in the courting process, that will ensure they have a long-lasting and meaningful marriage? Any precautions?
Well, the girls who, the way how they dress these days, it's not appropriate. You see how they dress to church, and a lot of their body parts are showing, and sometimes the way how the guys dress too, the pants is down, and they stuff like that. They like to club, and they do outrageous stuff. And I know we have to listen and watch our parents while we're growing up in our homes. That's why our parents have to be careful what they say and how they do things around their kids, because kids live what they learn. Kids live what they learn. So we have to be careful, and we have to talk to our sons and our daughters too. We don't leave it up to teachers when they're in class to tell them about this. We, the parents, supposed to teach our children how to find a partner with the help of God. Teach them, respect, to respect one another, and okay, when they are dating, I have a goddaughter and I tell her this all the time. When you're going out, you stand up bad, you're going out, you stand up. Sometimes you act stupid, like you don't know what is going on. Let the guy open the car door for you. Let he go around and open the door for you, close back the door. And I always tell her, now when you're in the car and he closes the door, by the time he reached to his side, you stretch over and open the door for him. Stuff like that. And then, we learn from stuff like that.
All right, great. I know a lot of that isn't happening these days, but
No.
it's really good, and we got to get you to counsel more of our young people so they can hear some of these things. So here's let me here's a question now, and wait till you're ready to hear me. You ready now?
Okay, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. So this next question is based on what I think I see happening around me a lot. A lot of people these days feel that they need to try out to make sure the person is compatible with them. So they need to try out, you know, um, to be sure that things are going to work. And especially we're talking about now um, in terms of compatibility sexually. So, do you believe that people in this modern age should wait till they're married before going all the way, or should they try out things first? And when you tell me the answer, tell me why.
You know, I got married very young, and I used to say, I don't want to marry someone before I have sex with them because I don't want to marry puss in a bag. We say that in Jamaica. And I wasn't a Christian. So, I wanted to have sex first. But then when you think about it, the guys, especially the guys, all they really want sometimes is to have sex with a young lady, and telling her how he's gonna fill up her ears with a lot of stuff. Then after he get the sex, he act as if he doesn't know her, or he start acting weird. I think after I learned the Bible and I'm a Christian, I strongly believe that you're not supposed to have sex until you get married. You need to have that special thing that both of you gonna enjoy on your wedding night. And then I realized that's what God wants you to do. Do not have sex before marriage. Mark you, we cannot, after our kids reach a certain age, we cannot, you know, tell them. We can advise them. You cannot tell them, because when you tell them stuff, they do exactly what you don't want to do. So I advise them and encourage them. But I know that because it's right in the sight of God, I think sex before marriage, as they say, is a sin. I believe in that.
Thank you very much, Pat. Very, very
You're welcome.
forthright, honest answers. Very, very good. Thank you.
You're
Wayne,
So
I have
yeah,
I have a question for you. Those
sure.
those who raise their hands sometimes while the discussion is happening, I'm wondering if they're interested in directing a question. So
Well,
you could
let
find
let
out.
let let's ask Ted. I think Kamoy, the hand went up
Yes,
very briefly, so that
Kamal,
might have
yeah,
been a mistake.
Kamal
So
had
if it was a
Kamal had a
mistake,
hand up for a little. I don't know if they
yeah,
still want to go ahead.
no
No, hello.
problem.
But if
If
they
it,
want to direct the question at Pat, go right ahead.
I was saying that to add to what you were saying about
uh-huh.
we're getting married very young
Uh-huh.
and parents. A lot of us younger generation, we didn't have a role model where we can say that our parents were ideal lovers
Right.
that would have taught us, because I always used to watch the movies and see the gentlemen open the doors for the ladies, but I've never done it because of our culture. You know, we always say, what kind of thing that she get her do herself and thing. You understand? So we didn't
Uh-huh.
really have a lot of, pardon?
No, I didn't say anything. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, so most of the younger generations, I think we're lacking on that. Because most of our parents are not like that. Because I grew up with my parents always constantly arguing. But what I did take away from that was that I didn't want to be the couple. I didn't want to be in a relationship where I'm with someone that I'm constantly arguing, because I know it affect the child,
Right.
right? So I don't know if I think that is one of the leading things why you find that we have so many divorces in going on right now, because we didn't have that type of person who could have look up to. You understand? And even doing when the whole marriage thing is coming into play and they send it to counseling, the counseling is not telling you that, hey, you need to act like you guys are dating same way, like you just meet, you understand, try to sit down and listen. We don't get on any of that during our counseling. We normally get like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? How many kids do you want? What is your goal? Those stuff. You understand? So we didn't get the counseling like say, hey, you need to sit down and listen to each other. You need to find safe words that you guys can use to know that this person is serious. You understand? Sit down and plan together, date night, find out what turns are on, turn them on, what's that turn off. Those are the stuff we didn't really get to find out.
Right.
That's why I said the strongest of the strongest will survive, show up their marriage. And the marriages these days, they don't last long because, as I said, after the excitement is all blown over, then come the frustration.
Yeah.
And if you're not strong and don't have God in the midst, then guess what? The frustration is going to take you. And this is where the divorce come in place. You understand? So
Right. Right. And you're right on point. Because growing up, my mom and dad, they argue all the time. They never hug us and tell us they love us. I didn't get that. All we get is a lot of whooping. So when I raise my kids the best I know how to raise them, because we did not see that in our family. We did not. So I did the best I could with my two children.
All right, let me just say this, Wayne, and then back to you. Thank you, Kamoy. I just want to say this, and what the Kamoy made an interesting point there that a lot of young people these days are not growing up with that example around them.
Right.
And Kamoy, I just want to encourage you, Kamoy. I just want to encourage you because these Sunday evening seminars are designed exactly for that to help people who didn't get the right type of background to get advice and information that'll
Yeah.
help you have better marriages. So, week after week, we're coming and we're having this. I invite you to just keep joining us. So, that's one thing I want to encourage you to do. And if there are other people who you know could benefit from this, invite them to come along also. The other
Right.
thing I want us to ask though is that while I know you may get burning questions in the middle or thoughts, can I just ask everybody who has that a question or a comment, especially a comment, to just make a note of it because soon as we're done with these questions that Wayne and I are asking, we're going to give allowance for more of that from everybody. So just let this part flow, and then we'll take the feedback on the questions. Okay. All right. So Wayne, it's back to you.
Yes, very good, Don. Thank you so much for that. And very interesting that Kamoy's comment was a nice segue into this next question. By the way, we are well past halfway with our questions, so not too many more to go, and doing a very, very nice job, Pat. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
so this next one, uh, we can acknowledge today that, of course, there are a lot of broken marriages in some Western countries. Up to 50% end in divorce. So that's one out of every two, obviously. So what do you think is the cause of this high failure rate?
You know, I think sometimes it's money. You know, after a while you get married, and after a while, I think it's money and lack of communication,
Yeah.
and one partner cheat some, but mainly I think it's money always. They always start an argument. It's a money thing. I don't know. You'll be happily dating, and the moment you get married you start arguing about money. But when you get married you become one. So what is yours is mine, and what is mine is yours. That's how it's supposed to be, but that's not how it's been done. I think it's money.
Great, 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 Pat. Indeed, I think money is a strong factor, and that speaks to the fact that people nowadays are so materialistic. They see
Yes.
money as this most important thing in the world. Husbands kill wives over money. Wives
Yeah.
kill husbands over money because money is so important. So what really is that they love money more than they love their partner. So that's a
Yeah.
other thing to think about. So that's a good point. And of course, you mentioned communication too. And
Yeah.
of course, that's important. But I'm not going to take away from what you're saying. So I want to ask you another question. Um, let's say a couple, they're married already, um, and the marriage is on the rocks. Maybe lack of communication, maybe they're arguing over money, whatever it is. Um, but things are not going well. They're having conflicts, not getting on well. What are some steps that you could suggest for people, for couples like this to take to help to save their marriage that's failing? And I know it's kind of vague because you don't know why it's failing, but generally, are there any steps that I find myself in a situation where my marriage is failing? What are some of the things I can do?
Sometimes you just have to spice up your marriage. And I don't care what age you are. You could be 50, 60, 70, 80. It doesn't matter. You can spice up your marriage. Like, you have a date night. You have candlelight dinner. The wife put on a sexy negligee, and you know she and she just spice it up. Whatever it is, it's sexual or whatever. You find out what makes your wife tick. She finds out what make you tick. Sometimes they will know, but ask, honey, what can I do? Where can I touch? What is it I want for us to, just hit it off, just have date nights. You married but still be act like you dating, and all those things that you used to do when you're dating to enjoy each other, continue do it. Don't stop. Children or no children, continue do it. Just be sexy for one another, put on some um Percy Sledge and Teddy Prendergrass, and just enjoy each other. Just have fun and have as much sex as you want. I don't care about the age, but sex is not, to me. Sex is not the most important thing in a marriage. I think communication is the most important thing. So you communicate and you tell her where to touch that makes her get excited, and she tell you the same thing, and you just enjoy yourself. Just spice it up. How maybe one day she go to work, come home, and he has dinner ready for her. Normally we cooking the dinner. He can have it ready for her to set the stage for that evening. You have rose petals, going leading towards the bedroom, sexy stuff like that. I'm not married and I'm not dating, but I'm a sexy person. And I'm hoping that one day, and I pray that one day when God give me my husband again, we're gonna just have a great time. And I know I'm gonna be up there in age because I'm 71, but we're gonna have a great time. And
Okay.
sometimes, the kids, you have to send the kids maybe off to a family or somewhere for you to enjoy. You walk around in the house naked. You got to do that sometimes. Just explore one another. And your marriage will be awesome. All you want to do when you're at work, you're just thinking of your home. You want to go home to your baby. Yeah. And you're going to love on her. You're going to tell her how precious she is, how gorgeous she is. And you tell each other that you love each other. Women just want to hear a man say, honey, you're so gorgeous. Honey, I love you. Sometimes it's not a lot. It's just the little things that you do and say to a woman. Let her be happy.
Excellent, excellent advice and great words of wisdom there, Pat. Thank you very much.
You're
Um,
welcome.
when a couple do get married, they don't stop seeing things, they don't stop feeling emotions, they don't stop, all of that. And every now and then, maybe they see somebody of the opposite sex that they sort of feel attracted to, but
Ooh.
even though they are married. So, what should a married man or woman do if they find themselves attracted to somebody outside of their marriage?
Well, if he finds somebody that he's attracted to outside of his marriage, that means he's gonna cheat. He need to go on his knees and pray to God and ask God to help him. If he wants to go out, might as he go home and he sit his wife down and he explain and tell her, honey, whatever he's gonna tell her, but I think I'm interested in somebody else, out there. Now I'm like her. I would say, okay, if that's what you want, you can go. When I was younger, I wouldn't say that because I'd be mad. But now I'm older, I'll just tell him to go. Yeah. And the same for her too. And a man will just go out and cheat without any reason. A woman, you have to do something to hurt her so badly that she wants to go out and cheat on her husband. You have to do her something. She's hurt and she's trying to get back at him, and that's not right. That's not the way to go about it. They should go to counseling. That's what they should do. Go to counseling, go on their knees and talk to God, because God does not like divorce. And if you're married, especially when you have kids, you don't just give up your marriage like that. So get counseling first, talk to God, and if they don't see it's getting any better, I think they should just divorce, just separate, go their separate ways.
Okay. Right. I see somebody raise a hand. We just have four more questions set, and then if anybody else has questions or comments, we'll let them in at that time. So Pat, all right. So that's from the married person's perspective. If what Wayne just asked you, if you're married and you're seeing somebody outside who you find attractive, and I certainly hope that it doesn't get to the point where you have to say divorce them, but
Right.
hope they can follow the earlier advice that you try to get sexier for each other and try to win the person back again. But
Yeah.
but what about if I'm single and then I find a married person attractive, and guess what? I find that that married person finds me attractive, um, and and well, I kind of can see the signs that she's making me know. In other words, it's like I can almost tell that she wants me to, come more to her. As a single person, what should I do?
What you, the married man, should do, or the single
No,
person?
the single person. I'm falling in love with a married woman. What should I do?
unfall in love because they don't belong to you. You don't mess with married people. You leave them alone. Don't mess with married man or married woman. Leave them alone. They're not yours. They belong to somebody. They have a family. Why are you gonna want to mess up somebody's family? No.
Absolutely, absolutely. No matter how much you're falling in love, as you said,
Right.
fall
You
out.
unfall in love. Don't you just don't think about that. That is dangerous. That is dangerous.
Yes, very good. I think there's a lot of ticks going in the boxes with these questions, Pat. Thank you. And this one's sort of in a similar vein to that one. And if a friend reports to you that their spouse is cheating on them, what would be your advice?
Well, my advice is to make sure he's cheating on you and you're not taking hearsay from your friends, because sometimes friends will tell you stuff that's not so. Make sure that is what is happening. Then I would approach him. I'd go to him and I'll talk to him about it. And if he's gonna tell me it's not so, and then I'm gonna be angry and mad, I'm gonna ask him to let us go seek counseling. We have to go to counseling. And it's very hard because sometimes the female, I'm a female, but sometimes female will know that the man is married and happily married and try to mess up the marriage. That is not right. And the man supposed to just keep away, try his very best, because sometimes it's hard for them. Try his very best. Or maybe he and his wife go talk to that girl, have a conversation with her, and let her know that this is my wife, and I'm in love with her, and I'm not gonna leave my wife, and I bring her here today so we can talk. Yeah, I would do that.
Wow, very good.
All right.
I would do that.
Very good, Pat. Very good. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. You kind of answered the next question before, but I'm going to ask it again. You're 71.
Uh-huh.
You have lived alone. Well, I think alone. You have not been married since the 1980s.
Right.
And the question is, which I think you answered already, but I'm going to ask it. Would you get married now?
Yes, I would, because you know when you reach a certain age, um, you want to be with somebody. You don't want to spend the rest of your life alone. So I'll get married for companionship. And not because I'm 71. We're going to have some sex too. We're going to have fun. Okay? So I'll remarry. I'll remarry. And then when I pray, I ask the Lord to He knows what I want. He knows who I want. So He will provide for me if it's His will. And I always say, if it's your will. And that's why I say it doesn't matter how old you are. You can still have fun. Okay? You can still have fun.
Yes, okay, I get it. Thank you very much. So final question for you, Pat, and that is, what would be the profile of this prospective husband of yours?
And before you
Okay.
answer that, Pat, before you answer that, just think you don't know these people online here. There may be somebody here who will fit that profile perfectly, or maybe somebody here knows somebody who would fit the profile and they can match you together. So give us a good description of that prospective husband. You might just find one.
First of all, I want a very energetic man. I want somebody who loves God more than how he loves me. He needs to love God first. Then he can love me after, but God is to come first in our lives. I need a man who will make me laugh, and he doesn't I'm not a material type. I just want a man who will let me just be happy and feel secure. And if there's something I need and I can't get it for me, I need a guy who will get it for me if I can't get it myself. I just want somebody who love me and I love them, but they have to love God first. God has to come first. So I just need a godly, humble guy who will make me laugh all the time and have fun. I love to dance. I love to dance. So I hope he loves to dance too because I love to dance. So it's not I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not asking for a lot.
No, no. In fact, the list wasn't great. Wasn't very long at all. Very
Right.
simple, and
Right.
it won't be too hard. I think the Lord is very close to showing you somebody that will fill the bill, fit the bill.
One other thing. He can't he not to lie to me and he better not cheat on me.
Oh,
No lie, no cheating.
good.
At his age, he's not supposed to do those things. Anyway.
Well, not supposed to at any age, but perhaps especially. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, Pat, thank you very much. What a very forthright, direct young lady you are. And so, with $1 million smile, don't forget that part. I'll tell you. And see, it's going to be easy for your future husband because it's not too hard to make you laugh. There you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Excellent. So, is there something you wanted just to add, Don, before I take us to question and feedback time?
All right. No, no, I'm going to just let you do that now, Wayne. I just wanted to, I think Kay said something about Brianna. And though you see the name Brianna there,
Yeah.
Kay, it's really Pat. She's just using Brianna's device. So Pat is the name. So,
Okay.
and so Wayne, over to you for the next segment.
Thank you very much, Don, and thank you again to you, Pat. And so
You're welcome.
now's the time where we just have a very short question and feedback time, although we did have a bit during the session. So if there's anything that's on your mind now, you can put a question in the chat, or you can just open your mic and ask a quick question or give some feedback. And so now's the time to do that. So go ahead if anybody has anything.
I just like Pat's honesty because it helps us. It's helping me a lot of things she has said, and it helps those unmarried people who probably are considering courtship or marriage. And oh boy, she's just bubbly. I love her, and I personally want to thank her for sharing all of this. It enlightens me, honestly. It does.
Thank you.
I like your spirit, the way it flows. You're not holding back anything. You're sharing. I'm sure a lot of people have been benefiting from, your interview. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you for that, Ingrid. And she's spot on there, Pat. And there was another comment about the importance of open and direct communication, because when several of the questions that we went through, you think about if a marriage ends, the main reason is because there wasn't open communication. They couldn't get to a place where they could communicate freely and say something that was really needed to be heard by the other person, or that needed to be spoken or said by the person. So Kay was the one who mentioned that. So is there something you wanted to add, Kay, with your hand up?
I
Oh, there
totally
you are.
agree
Go
with
ahead.
Brianna when I heard of her
Yes,
talking. Yes, she sounded much like me because I am all up for communication and spice in relationships. But how many persons know the importance of having spice in your relationships?
Well, more do now, Kay. More do now, because of, and it's
I
actually,
sincerely hope so because, yes, she brought across a very good, strong point of view. And the best thing about it, Persons are like this. They focus their relationship in the church, and because of that, a lot of things are lacking. They come off with a boring marriage, and a lot of relationships lead to marriage, ended up in divorce. You sometimes don't even know the cause of it. But if you should go to a counselor and explain the do's and the don'ts in the relationship, it's a lack of spice.
Mm-hmm. See, mm-hmm.
Very
Yes,
good.
because
Very good.
after marriage, sometimes sex comes off by appointment,
Right.
and that's
Right.
not a good thing. And a lot of women complain about their partners cheating when they are the ones that actually lead the gentleman outside to stray.
That's
So
true.
I really love her viewpoint. Trust me. She did deliver, and I'm proud of her. I'm glad somebody else outside thinks like me.
Thank you.
Well, good on you,
You're
Kay.
welcome.
Very forthright young lady too. And just so you know, Kay, although Brianna is on the device there, it's actually Pat. Pat. Pat is using Brianna's device. So
Okay.
you've been listening to Pat tonight. Nice simple three letter name like yours. Pat and Kay. Kay meet Pat.
Okay. But she still
Thank
made a
you.
good point, and trust me, we need more of her.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Kay.
Yes.
You're
Good
welcome.
girl. Very nice. Okay, any others? Yes, there we go. We've got Camille with a hand up. Go ahead, Camille.
Hi. I just want to say, Miss Pat, I totally agree with every single bit you've said. I wish most of these conversations would be on social media. The time people been watching, think that's not, benefiting them. People should start making videos of these things because you're educating people. You touch so many points that a lot of marriages, a lot of relationships are lacking. And I totally agree with you. There's two things I would say, you know, causing failures of marriage is lack of communication and money.
Yes. And money. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
lack of communication and money.
And
And
money.
definitely, I totally agree with the date thing. Go out, have fun, be like,
Yeah.
your teenagers again. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
you just see each other and fall in love because those love at first sight thing. Because
Yeah.
my relationship was like that. My marriage was like that, love at first sight. But
Yeah.
I'm going through a rocky road with my marriage now.
Yeah.
And you're so right. It has sometimes come from the man's side. They go out, they cheat, they do all these
Mm-hmm.
things. And a woman will just sit and watch and say, okay, you know, it's always coming from
The
the
man.
side that is weak. You know,
Yeah.
I always say the problem comes from the side that is weak.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily always has to be the man that is weak. Sometimes it can be the woman as well.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
when they need to intervene God in their relationship. Thank you
Yes.
for everything you said tonight.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much, Camille. We're going to have Don say something in a moment, but before he
Okay.
does that, um, Pat reminded me of something earlier, and I didn't mention it, and you've now just reminded me. So I get that second confirmation. I better
Okay.
share it, and that is
Thank
that sometimes couples, particularly when there's some strain in the marriage, need to
Mm-hmm.
get together. And here's the principle: go back to the point where they last saw the bright light on their path.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So when you last saw the bright light together as a couple, go back to that, even if it means talking about, do you remember when we did this? And do you remember when we did this? And get into the discussion because, as you know, our brain is an amazing thing. Our
Yeah.
brain, through the imagination, can take us anywhere in the world, be anyone we want, go any, it's amazing. And so we go back to the last time we saw the bright light on the path and relive those days and come forward from there instead of coming forward from where we are now if it's a strained situation. So
Yes.
Exactly.
thank you to lovely ladies for reminding me of that principle
You're
very,
welcome.
very much.
Mhm.
You're You're
Yeah,
You're
good
welcome.
on you,
welcome.
Camille. Very, very much love what you had to share too. And go ahead, Don. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I'm really excited by the feedback we're getting. Camille, you suggested that we record these and put them on social media, and I'm pleased to let you know that we actually are recording it, and we have them up on our YouTube channel. We will have them on our YouTube channel. I have to get
Okay.
Pat's permission to put it up there, whether or not she'll agree,
Yes. Yeah.
But
Yes.
I mean, I was talking in generally though, but that's good to know. I mean, worldwide in general, because sometimes you see people going on TikTok, they go on Instagram, they go on YouTube. It's just some stupid things that not benefiting people. People can't you've been educated from, learn anything from. But when you have stuff like this, people can tune it. People are hurting. People are going through trauma, people are going through divorce problems, and they zoom in on something like this. You can say, oh, I can do this for my marriage, oh, I can do this for my friend, let me tell my friend about this. you know it's really it's really good to have safe stuff like this.
Yeah.
thank you.
You're
It's
right.
from the
Yeah.
Lord for us because the Lord brought
Yeah.
this idea towards us and we put it together and we'll be here week after week. So there's more ahead, Camille. I hope you will join us each week because there's more ahead and you don't know what the Lord is going to do with you and your um, turbulent marriage right now, even from just
Right.
here. So
Yeah.
Just pray. Just pray, and God will fix it for you, dear.
Oh yes, I'm a strong
Yeah.
believer.
You
You've
go on
done
your
many
knees.
things for me, you will do this one as well,
Right. Go on
either
your
with him or
knees.
without him.
Yeah. Go on your
Right.
knees and
Praise the
cry
Lord.
out to God. Yeah.
Yes,
Amen.
ma'am.
Well, thank you very much so far. Wow, this is outstanding. And so we've got time for one more. If there's anybody else that wanted to ask a question, and that could be a question to Pat or Donna and myself or some feedback. So go ahead if you have either of those.
I think
Yes,
I
yes,
heard
yes,
Pat
yes, we
saying that
love.
um, her marriage, it seems as if they didn't have courtship. So
We
with her
did.
marriage, you did?
Yeah, we did.
You did?
But he was
Oh.
just one bad man. He bad. He womanized and he used to hit me. Yes.
Ooh.
So, yes, it was
Oh.
just a bad, bad marriage. But one thing I must say, and please don't think I'm bad, the only good thing in that marriage was the sex. It was awesome. It was. I'm not lying. It was awesome. And I say that all the time. And the two kids, the two children that he gave me, that was the only good thing. But he was just a womanizer and he was just bad. But after I left him and he got married again and he got an aneurysm and he died. Yeah, but before he died, he became a Christian and he was a elder in the church. So thank you, Jesus. Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
very much. Yep, lovely.
Yeah.
thank you so much, Pat. We're gonna have to try to link with you again, Pat, because it sounds to me like you have a lot more under your belt that you want to share with us. But maybe by the time we get back to you, you won't be alone because you'll have found that husband, or he,
Maybe.
he will have found
Thank
you.
you, Jesus. I'm waiting. Thank
So
you,
don't
guys.
forget whoever's got the closing prayer to make a special mention for Pat's future husband.